It is 7:22 Tuesday morning. It's Emma Britton in for Charlie Taylor on The Breakfast Show all this week. Time now for something slightly different.
97.3 Apple FM.
Don't adjust your radio. It hasn't changed frequencies, but we are going to be talking about the community radio station Apple FM. It's been asked to leave the hospital it broadcasts from after more than 55 years due to increasing pressures from the NHS. Apple FM's been based at Taunton's Musgrove Park Hospital for almost 6 decades. It started out as hospital radio, but now they are on the lookout for a new studio in Taunton. Greg Perkins is the managing director of Apple FM. Morning, Greg.
Good morning.
How long have you been involved?
Well, I'm quite a youngster, to be honest with you. I've only been involved since about, I think it was late 2018.
Okay. So do you know much about the history of how it all came about in the first place?
Well, I think you gave a pretty good summary just there, actually. It started back in 1969. As Taunton Hospital Radio, and what they used to do was record it at the old SCAT and then take it in and broadcast it to patients. We then moved to a porter cabin. I think it was also out of the back of an old ambulance at one point. And then we were very kindly, through lots of donations from the League of Friends and people like that, they got together a studio within the Duchess building, and I'm pretty sure we've been there for at least 35, nearly 40 years.
And what do you know about why you're being asked to move out? Because it feels like you are part of the hospital there, so it just seems a little bit unusual that they're asking you to go.
It's unfortunate, but we completely understand, and we hold no grudges against it. Basically, we're redundant as what was a hospital radio station, and that's why we were initially there. Back in the early days, we used to broadcast onto the wards and all that sort of thing. But following COVID, a lot of the equipment was taken out. From the bedside. You probably won't see things like television sets or radio sets next to your bed when you go into Musgrove or many hospitals, actually. And therefore, linked with that, we'd become a community station. Initially, we were on AM, on medium wave, back in 2004. And then we moved to FM in 2013, and we've been a community radio station since then. So when you're in hospital, the only way you can actually listen to us is by tuning in on FM or online.
So you can sort of see, I've got a statement from the NHS Foundation Trust to read, but you can sort of see their thinking there. So let's concentrate on the future, Greg. What kind of venue are you looking for in Taunton? What do you need?
So really what we need, we need somebody to host us. We're looking for maybe 2 reasonable size rooms, a third smaller room for storage. Obviously, one of the main rooms would be for the studio. One would be for an administration or an office. We need, obviously, 24-hour access to the building. We appreciate that we would need to pay for possibly electricity. We'd like to pay as little amount of rent as possible. I mean, one of the places that we're trying to look at, there's an old MOT centre up on Shoreditch Road in Taunton, and the owner, I think it was a name called John Doble, used to own it, and that building has been empty for 10 plus years. I'm not sure the reasons behind that, but that sort of building, that sort of unit would be open to conversion into a couple of studios, and that would be wonderful. But I appreciate that that's a huge ask of somebody that owns that kind of building.
Yeah.
But I mean, effectively, a few offices, in the back of somebody's building, or accountancy or someone like that, that's the sort of thing we're looking for.
So what sort of timescale have you got, Greg? When do you need to be out by?
Well, initially, we had early discussions with the trust last May. We went a little way down discussions with various people about potential moving, but now the trust has actually turned around and formally given us notice, and we have to be out by the summer, by July.
Well, how can people get in touch if they think they can help?
So the phone number is 01823 781 973, and you can push option 1 when you get through, and you can leave a message, or info@applefm.co.uk. All the information is on our website, which is applefm.co.uk. We'd very much appreciate talking to anybody.
Thank you, Greg. Greg Perkins, Managing Director of Apple FM. They're looking for a new home.
Love Taunton. Love 97.3 Apple FM.
I said I would read out the statement from Somerset NHS Foundation Trust. They said, in response to the changing needs of patients locally and the growth in our services, we are constantly reviewing the footprint within our buildings so we can prioritise care for patients. This means we now need to use the space occupied by the Apple FM studio at Musgrove Park Hospital for our expanding outpatient clinics. This is in line with us already asking some non-clinical services to relocate off the hospital site. We want to thank our colleagues at the much cherished Apple FM for the service they've provided at Musgrove for over 55 years, where it started out as a hospital radio and since 2013 as a community radio station for Taunton. We wish them all the very best in the future. Fingers crossed that we can find a new home for Apple FM.
Love Taunton.